So, Robbie, you must feel as if you've really started something here. Why did you put this post up there in the first place?
It's actually something that I do frequently. If you were to scroll back on my Instagram feed, you would see that I use my Instagram as a place to write about the things that inspire me and the things that I'm passionate about, and no one does that more than this beautiful girl right here. So I write posts about Sarah frequently, and this is just the one that happened to go viral, and it was definitely a surprise to both of us.
Are you surprised it went viral, Robbie? Are you surprised by the reaction, to be honest, reaction on both sides of the argument? Has that shocked you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, yeah. I mean, I definitely hoped people would see it and, a few people would connect with it. But for something to go this viral and to really extend to, all corners of the world, we've gotten messages from people in Saudi Arabia and Mauritius, and, it's insane. And so, no, I mean, no one could have anticipated that. But the overwhelming positivity and love that we've received from it, of women all over the world sharing how much it's helped them accept their bodies, or, maybe to love themselves more, especially when considering in the mainstream media they don't see very much representation for their body type. It's been awesome. It's been amazing.
But in truth, Sarah, if I can bring you in, it hasn't been massively positive. Well, not 100% positive. A lot of women have been offended by the fact that they believe that your husband is behaving in somewhat of a sexist way. Whatever his motives, that's how it's come across. What's your reaction as his wife?
I think a lot of people don't have context to the post. As Robbie said, he posts about me all the time, but what people don't realize is that I'm a body-positive fashion blogger, and I myself label who I am as curvy, and I talk about my thick thighs and my big booty and things like stretch marks and arm flab and all kinds of topics that are super relatable to women every single day. And so it's not a conversation that's abnormal for us. It's very regular on both of our platforms, and I think a lot of people just don't realize that.
So you celebrate your curves, you celebrate the way you look, and your husband does, which is wonderful. I guess what those who are concerned about this, the point they've been making is, why should comments be made about women's shapes at all? Why should we be celebrating women for the way they look and not for the other ways I'm sure she inspires you?
Sure, and I think I think that's a reach. I think that's taking it out of context, because at the end of the day, it's me celebrating this beautiful woman in my life. It was a post of her and celebrating her and telling people how much I loved and adored her and am attracted to her, and also just maybe even offering a thought-provoking statement about portrayals of women in the media and the amazing job that Sarah's done in speaking to curvy women. And it was meant nothing but positive. The intent was pure, and I think the majority of people got that, but I think there's always going to be a small group of people who want to cast negative attitudes towards something, and we just choose to focus on the positive.
Well, Robbie and Sarah, you seem incredibly happy and very much in love. It's lovely to talk to you. Has it put you off, Robbie, posting things about Sarah at all, or do you think,
no.
I'll leave it? No.
No, I'm promoting and celebrating this woman every day of my life. That's my job as her husband, and I'm not scared to continue doing it.
Thank you guys for joining us. We're now joined by writer and campaigner Natasha Devon.
Hello.
Natasha, good morning. He said he was doing it for the right reasons. There has been an outcry. Your thoughts and your take on this?
Well, I almost feel like well done for trying, but he's fundamentally misunderstood what both feminism and the body confidence movement is all about. I think it was interesting that you had Tess Holliday giving a comment there, because she posts this kind of thing all the time, celebrating her body, and a lot with her partner as well. But crucially, it's Tess that is driving that. It's the women's voice that you hear. With this particular post, I almost feel like he wanted a medal. Like he was going, oh, aren't I amazing? Look, my woman, and he calls her my Sarah, in this kind of objective way, doesn't conform to these normal standards of beauty. Therefore, I deserve praise and attention. And that's not what the movement's all about, And just a couple of weeks ago, President Trump did a diplomatic visit to Emmanuel Macron, and one of the first things that he said was, your wife is in really great shape. And there was a huge outcry about that, rightly so, because he was objectifying the president's wife. And just because because Sarah happens to be a little larger, suddenly it's like the rules have changed. No, you don't do that to
But
women.
Natasha, we've spoken many times about body image, and you always say we need to have a debate about it. We need to see different sorts of body types celebrated. He might not have done it in exactly the right way that you would like him to have done, but, you know, we can't control the way people discuss things, can we? And maybe we shouldn't.
It reminds me of, you know, in Ricky Gervais's sitcoms, a lot of the time you have a character who's desperately trying to prove how not racist they are, and in doing so makes lots of very racist comments. I feel like this is very much in the same vein.
Can I just say, because we've got to close it, I'm really grateful for you being here. My initial thing when I read that this morning was, what has gone wrong with the world? This husband just making a nice comment about his wife. But then when I read, they were both delighted to get 31,000 tweets or whatever it is, I don't understand it, and it's gone viral. You think, well, what was the motivation?
Absolutely.
I don't think we can control what people say.
No.
I wonder what would be said if a woman said that about a man, but I don't think that's the debate this morning. I just wonder about the motivation. But I take your point.
And I also think part of the debate as well is the implication in his post that real men or men who are educated about feminism like curvy women, and that's disrespectful to thin women, and it's disrespectful to men who like that body type. Men can like whatever they want. That's the message.
I
And
think
we
there's a lot
shouldn't
of
care.
men that might be thinking, goodness me, we just can't win. But, you
Imagine
know.
being sat with these three. You're probably better off at home. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut.